Captain Schnee, I have the witness statements from... Oh, sorry ma'am, am I interrupting?
No, Detective. Just reminiscing on an old case.
Which case, ma'am?
The one that put my father in prison. It all started on election night. A last-minute vote flip had happened. A riot broke out. And our friend had been framed by an escaped convict. Normally, I wouldn't read too much into it, but it all just seemed too perfect. Like someone planned it.
And just like back then, someone is using our own technology against us. This doctored footage of Penny came from her work all around Manor. Stolen straight from our surveillance network.
That was the first clue. We had seen something like this back at Beacon. I'll never forget the grief it caused Yang. But what if the two are connected? I need to know more about the network.
And how would someone get access to that network?
Well, only a few people have clearance. Ironwood, the Council, our cybersecurity and surveillance leads, and maybe a select few who oversee critical systems like sewage or the heating grid.
That's far too many suspects for me to take in by myself. It'll just take too long. There has to be something to narrow it down. A motive of some sort. Wait.
The heating grid run in partnership with the Schneedas company.
What are you thinking?
I don't know yet, but something isn't right.
Father has more than anyone else to lose in this current situation. But this is way beyond his capabilities. Or anyone else in the company, for that matter. We're miners and supply chain experts, not cyber warfare specialists.
Understatement of the century.
We'll find whoever's responsible. I promise.
Only my father would turn a hostile takeover into a fluffy PR move.
You think with all of his money, Father would be able to write legibly.
On the news, he said he just wanted to break bread and hash things out. Maybe it won't be so bad. We do want the General to start opening up to these people, right?
Trust me, the moment you open yourself up to my father, that's when he's the most dangerous. Just ask my mother.
I still can't believe he won. Robin was supposed to be the people's champion, wasn't she? There's just too many coincidences.
I checked, and every poll had him down by at least 15 points. And the final result is way out of the margin of error. Also, if our yearly company Christmas parties are anything to go by, he'd have to buy these votes. Or worse.
You really think your dad might have something to do with Salem?
I think my father would do whatever it takes to win.
And we should do the same.
Meaning...
Well, no one knows your dad better than you. And out of everyone going tonight, I'd say you're the only one who could snoop around the house and not be questioned. If Jacques Schnee's up to something, I think we should know what it is.
Oh, it's risky, but it just might pay off. You know, I always thought if I were to return, it'd be with an army at my back. At least I get to see Klein again.
Good evening, everyone.
Where's Klein?
What an interesting way to say, hello, dear brother, how have you been?
And just why would anyone miss you, Whitley? It's harsh to say, but if you haven't noticed, you're always the afterthought of the family. Now, where is Klein?
I'm afraid you won't find him here. He was let go. I can't imagine why.
I'll pay you back for this. I promise. Even if it means bringing this company to its knees.
General, exactly how large do you think our dining room table is?
I happen to know it's enormous, but most of my guests will be on standby in case the council requests additional eyewitnesses. Until then, I'm sure they'll be happily celebrating your father's victory.
Giving into flattery so easily?
For those of you joining us in the dining room, please follow me.
All right, Whitley's distracted. This is as good as it's going to get.
I'll be in touch.
Miss Schnee?
Oh no. What is she doing here? The kitchens are the other way. Okay, stay calm, Weiss. Don't overreact.
Is everything okay?
I'm fine, thank you. Keep up the great work.
Well, so much for not overreacting. I think it's fine, though. She didn't seem suspicious. And the easy part's over. Let's get started.
Hello, darling. I'm sorry I couldn't come down for your party. I'm afraid I'm not feeling well.
I've known you for all my life. But how is it that I keep forgetting the sound of your voice?
It's okay, Mom. It's fine.
And there it is. The dreaded F word.
What are you doing in your father's office?
Just looking for something I left.
Sentiment was never our family's forte.
I need to use Father's computer.
Why?
Because I think he may have done something. Something wrong.
I thought we all simply assumed that at this point.
Yes, well, some of us are trying to do something about it.
That's definitely not wine anymore.
He started locking his home computer. But he still has blind spots.
You put a camera in here?
I'm surprised you were sober enough to manage that.
I put them in every room of this house. For our safety, in case I ever needed...
Every room? Does that mean you had proof of him hitting me and you did nothing?
You haven't come back to stay, have you?
No.
Good.
I know I shouldn't be angry with her. She's a victim as much as me. But it's just so hard. Sorry. But if what I think is true, this nightmare can be over.
A man came by. I'm afraid your father may be involved in something more dangerous than he realizes. No matter what happens, Weiss, please don't forget about your brother.
Whitley wants nothing to do with me.
Of course not. You left him alone. With us.
I guess I did have Winter and Klein. Perhaps I wasn't the loneliest Schnee after all.
Who are you?
This has been a long time coming. Today's the day.
Wait! You've got the wrong man on trial. I know who's been framing Ironwood, who rigged the election. And my father does too.
Is that Arthur Watts?
That's impossible! Dr. Watts died in the Paladin incident years ago.
Well, that is the official story. My investigation of the case files was more revealing. According to the report, not a single trace of Dr. Watts was found, save for a few clothing fragments. But nothing of the man himself. Awfully convenient. Except he overlooked a crucial fact. The forensics team concluded the dust fuel fire burned at a temperature of 850 degrees, whereas human teeth can survive up to 1093 degrees. If no trace of him was found, he had to have lived. Character witnesses describe Watts as underappreciated and isolated. Perfect characteristics for Salem to exploit.
I simply wish to return the favor. What's in it for me? A seat on the council.
That is... I can explain that. That isn't real.
Jacques, take your seat.
If you will.
Yeah. Weiss.
Oh, don't you Weiss me.
Jacques Schnee, you're under arrest.
On suspicion of high treason, conspiracy, electoral fraud, and for the crime of wearing a clip-on tie.
Can I do that?
That's how I put my father in jail and set the Schnee Dust Company back on track to being respectable.
Very interesting story, ma'am, but I just need you to review these statements. Also, if you could turn down the music a bit, the precinct finds it a little distracting.
Well, Kelly, looks like we just about threw away every perp in this city.
Yep. Robbery, murder, tax fraud while murdering.
Yep, good. Oh, looks like we missed one. Who do we have here?
Oh yeah, no subs McGee. He's one on several felony accounts of watching videos and not liking, not commenting, and not subscribing.
Not turning notifications or checking out the links below. By God.
Let's book him.